I'm Lloyd Ryan, manager of Kendo Nagasaki, and you are watching LDN Capital TV.
This is London.
Hello and welcome, this is LDN Capital TV, and on tonight's show we'll see former British Tag Team Champions Project Future as they attempt to reclimb the ladder of success here in LDN. And in tonight's main event we'll see a clash of two of LDN's premier stars when the ever-aggressive Chris Wyld takes on the confident Yorghos.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to LDN Capital TV. I am your host, Andrew Coyne, and for this week I've been joined by the always lovely Jetta. Jetta, welcome to the commentary booth.
Hello, Andrew.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring right now, we've got Danny Garnell and Stu Odysessy, and these two men have a challenge that's been issued to them, and it's been accepted to face Steve Gray and gold belt Brian Maxine at a future date. Now it's going to be a huge task, but first up, they've got to get through Project Future. Two men who are desperate to win the Tag Team Championships after recently losing it to Hot Property.
Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents hail from Broxbourne in Hertfordshire and come to the ring at a total combined weight of 25 stone. Please welcome Ricardo Young, Bobby Hostile, Project Future.
I don't think this is going to be a hard match, to be honest, Andrew. I mean, these two guys, they're in prime condition, they're ready for their match with the World of Sport legends, and Project Future have just coming off a really bad loss to Hot Property. I think, you know, when it comes to this match, there is no way that Stu and Danny Garnell are going to go down 1, 2, 3, no way.
Now, as my co-host for the week has actually quite said, these two men have come off a huge loss recently, having lost the British Tag Team Championships to Hot Property, a team that literally came out of the left wing and stole it. And the reason that many people are claiming they lost that match is because of the very referee who also happens to be officiating this match. The referee did not see the foot on the bottom rope, so as a result, we have new Tag Team Champions. Now, Jetta, you did say earlier that you think this loss would be the downfall of this team going into this match.
Definitely. I mean, it doesn't matter about the foot on the rope. It's the fact that they still have a loss under their belt. They don't have those tag trophies anymore. That's got to be something that's going to be playing on their minds here tonight.
Well, both teams have a lot of gain from this victory. That man right there, Danny Garnell, and that man right there, Stu Odysessy, want this win so that they can go against Steve Gray and, of course, Brian Maxine at a future date. And what a huge match that will be! Garnell and Odysessy from behind, starting right away on Project Future.
You see, the point is, though, Andrew, this is wrestling. This isn't all, let's all stand on the ropes and cheer and get the crowd to cheer us. This is exactly why Project Future are losing, because they don't realise it's about the wrestling.
Well, you say that, Jetta, but Project Future are starting pretty strong here, and at the moment it's a 2-on-1 situation against Stu Odysessy.
I think you just said why they're doing quite well there, Andrew. It's 2-on-1.
Oh, and a huge forearm smash there from Ricardo Young, and we've seen this wheelbarrow straight into the corner. Drop toe hold. Ricardo has the foot, and Bobby Hostile drops the leg. I think it's clear to see right here, Jetta, that Project Future most definitely have the fans behind them.
Well, they do, but do you know that I'm sure they had the fans behind them when they were against Hot Property. They still lost the tag titles.
Touche, quite rightly put. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it is the 1, 2, 3 that will determine the winner. So let's see if Project Future can get back on their winning ways. Well, the referee asking the two competitors to come in, and straight away, shoulder right into the gut there of Project Future. Sunset flip, both men roll out. Oh! And a drop kick right to the mush. And Project Future right now are the kings of the mountain. Well, this match is yet really to start off. It's been very one-sided. Both Stu Odysessy and Danny Garnell escaping to the outside so they can find a little bit of a breather from their much younger and quicker opponents.
The guys, they weren't ready. Basically, Project Future just jumped in before the match had even started. Didn't give them a chance to get anything in, even a chance to even actually start the match. So obviously the guys, they're a bit flustered, they're a bit annoyed that Project Future obviously don't want to play on a level playing field.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee said if Danny Garnell is not back in the ring by the count of 10, not only will they lose the match, but he'll also have his purse money withdrawn.
Well, that's a heck of a threat. The minute you threaten to remove the money, Danny Garnell, Stu Odysessy, straight back to ringside. Well, there we go. Looks like we might be able to get this match started. And Garnell, again, nipping to the outside, trying to delay the inevitable.
The thing is, I mean, it might be riling up the crowd that they're taking their time, but it's smart when it comes to winning the match. They need to make sure that they're level-headed and they're ready.
Well, it looks like that Stu Odysessy will be starting the match for the team of Garnell and Odysessy. Now, Jetta, as a professional wrestler yourself, you've been in tag team competition. I mean, looking at the two men available here, Stu Odysessy, Danny Garnell, do you think Odyssee's the man to start the match?
I think as far as Stu Odysessy and Garnell go, yeah, the bigger guy in there to wear down the smaller guy, yeah. But as far as Project Future go, I mean, obviously they're smaller, so starting off with the smaller guy probably would give them a bit of an advantage. But then again, you know, the guys are bigger, but Project Future, they do have the talent, they do have the quickness and the style that can keep those guys down, so who knows?
And, I mean, from my personal experience, I mean, the beautiful thing about tag team wrestling, it's almost like a great leveler in some ways. I mean, if you're a big guy, obviously that won't disadvantage you when you go against a much lighter competitor. You can tag out, you can get rested, you can come back in. At the end of the day, it's all about that strategy. And Stu Odysseys's strategy right now is putting all that weight right onto the shoulder joint.
But again, smart tag team wrestling is cutting the ring in half, keeping your opponent on your side of the ring and keeping tagging in so you and your partner are fresh. If either team can do this, it doesn't really matter who's big and small. I mean, that's obviously going to give them a bit more of an advantage.
Well, here we see now Stu Odysessy trying to fight his way up, gets out of the headlock and straight into the hammerlock again, and gets a headlock all of his own. And there's the arm wringer trying to apply that wrist lock. Beautifully executed, of course, with that height and weight advantage, bearing right on top of Ricardo Young. Ricardo Young has got to find the escape. Oh, and there it is. Now, Jetta, I mean, out of the matches, out of all the tag matches you've personally been involved in, do you tend to go for a sort of a slow, methodical style, or are you more of a hit-and-run type wrestler like Project Future?
I think it all depends on who you're wrestling, but I prefer to take a slow and methodical style. Like I said before, you want to try and cut the ring in half, keep you and your partner fresh, keep tagging in and out, do the odd move, get them in a hold, wear them down, but make sure that you both are fresh and you're wearing down one of the two.
Well, there we saw, I mean, the big man, Stu Odysessy, trying to go for that elbow drop. Unfortunately, he was just a little too slow. Ricardo Young, a hair quicker, he just hit off those series of arm drags. And Project Future, in my opinion, are most definitely ahead.
You know, there's no mistaking that they are ahead, but, you know, it's only a matter of time until these guys get back on top.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, coming up later tonight, we have a main event. Yorghos, the LDN Golden Boy from Greece, will be going head-to-head with your running buddy, in fact, Jenna, when he goes head-to-head with Chris Wyld.
I can smell victory for Chris Wyld tonight.
Now, I mean, what's your opinion of Chris Wyld? I mean, many people say that under John Chapman, he could very well become a future British champion.
Definitely. I mean, John Chapman, he helped me out a lot. He really teaches you to believe in yourself, and I think that tonight Chris Wyld's going to be believing in himself, and I think he's going to win against Yorghos, no problems.
Anyway, focusing back on the match right now, Danny Garnell, a short fuse, high aggression, very high impact. I mean, he's really coming to this ring, and he's beginning to decimate Bobby Hostile. Hostile, a kick at one, but it wasn't awfully convincing.
So this is a good strategy here by Danny Garnell, wearing down Bobby Hostile with his strength and his power.
I have to say, I mean, I haven't seen much of Garnell, but when I heard that he got signed to LDN, I did manage to get hold of some tapes of his earlier work, and I have to say, such a ruthless competitor. I really think he has a promising future here in LDN if and only if he can abide to the rules.
You see, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. You notice how Stu and Danny keep tagging in and out, making sure that each of them are fresh and they're wearing down one of Project Future.
Well, this will be for Stu Odysessy. This is his second match in LDN. The first was against World of Sport era legend Steve Gray. Now, unfortunately for Stu Odysessy, he lost 2-0 to the World of Sport legend. But then again, when you're going against a World of Sport legend like Steve Gray, I suppose there's no shame in defeat.
Definitely.
But he's going to want that win common. And straight away, Bobby Hostile's head first into what looked like Danny Garnell's knee. There's a snapmare right there. Quick, no, I thought it was quick cover. It's almost like a cranial crush there of his hands. Well, that's quite silly there from Ricardo Young. The quick switch right there from Garnell. And, of course, Odysessy. Garnell now switches to the reverse chin lock. Wearing down Bobby Hostile ever so slowly. And pinning predicament. Only a 2. But, as you can see, Danny Garnell very slowly, very surely, wearing down his competitor, trying to go for the quick pin here or there, and then if they kick out, straight back onto the hold. Off the ropes, Garnell, the clothesline was ducked again. Oh, what a kick! Straight to the throat.
This is what they exactly need to do. They need to be so careful with Project Future because they're so quick.
Well, at the moment, I mean, we're seeing all kinds of techniques going on here. I mean, Danny Garnell just caught Bobby Hostile right in the throat. Meanwhile, Stu Odysessy was working on the arms earlier on. I mean, Jet, when you're in the ring, what body part, in your opinion, is the worst to be worked on? I mean, what kind of injury will really have the most effect on a wrestler of the style of Bobby Hostile?
I mean, it completely depends. It depends on what sort of moves they like to utilise. I mean, as high flyers, it probably would be quite bad for them to have their neck and their back worked on because it sort of hinders them with their offense later on in the match. Maybe if they get a bit of fire on the tag team, it completely depends.
We see Bobby Hostile there, firing away with some shots there to the midsection, but Stu Odysessy, so big, so strong, and with a lot left in his tank, throwing down Bobby Hostile. Now, surely this has to be smart tag team wrestling. You got Stu Odysessy, the bigger man in the contest, really carrying the workload for this team. But then when he needs a rest, tags in Garnell.
Exactly. This is the perfect strategy. Like I was saying before, Project Future are very quick. If they get tired, that's going to be the opening that Bobby needs.
Well, very tight cover, but Bobby Hostile finding the back door on the escape right there. Big body slam. And it connects. There's a leg drop right across the head of Bobby Hostile. Now, unfortunately, this is something we've seen before. I mean, when you've got a man like this just being decimated by 2 guys.
Is London. This is London.
So, Jed, I mean, who do you think is the best tag partner you personally have ever had?
I don't know. I mean, I've had a few tag partners, but I will say the most motivating was John Chapman, definitely.
Well, of course, John Chapman we will be seeing later on tonight's show when he comes down to the ring with Chris Wyld in his epic main event against Yorghos. And here comes the big man again, Stu Odysessy. I mean, compared to Project Future, he is a tank of a man. And off the second rope, oh, and there's a lot of weight going right there. Again, square. To me, it looked like square in the throat, or at least in the
that was
breastbone.
his chest. That was his chest.
Okay, well, of course, a strike to the throat would be illegal, and the referee's obviously not doing anything about it. But then again, this is the same referee that awarded a championship to Hot Property, despite the fact that the person they were pinning had his foot on the bottom rope. There's another kick out there from Bobby Hostile. Stu Odysessy almost looking a bit frustrated here.
So they've got to be careful. They can't get frustrated. They've sectioned Bobby off now for a long time in this match. If they start getting frustrated, that's when they're going to make mistakes, and that's going to be Bobby's opening.
So, I mean, Jet, you're talking about not getting frustrated. I mean, is it really crucial that you not get frustrated in the match?
It is, yeah. I mean, especially in a tag situation, if you get frustrated and you lose your concentration, that's going to be the opening they need to tag out.
Well, illegal double teaming going on right there. But, Jetty, you say that, but the fact is you must be one of the most frustrated and angry young competitors I've ever seen in a ring.
I think that's just plain rude, Andrew. Rude.
Well, I apologise.
I'd like to see the proof.
Well, I'm sure we've got video footage somewhere. Garnell's pinned. Garnell, however, straight out. Bobby Hostile, he's going for it again.
Too close to the ropes.
Well, the ref caught the rope that time around. Bobby Hostile, obviously, just very unlucky. Oh, and a blatant low blow there.
No. He hit him in the thigh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee gives the first public warning to the team of Stu Odysessy and Danny Garnell.
Despite what me or you may think, Jetta, the fact of the matter is Danny Garnell has received his first public warning. It was noticed as an illegal low strike.
I think, to be honest, Chris Roberts needs his bow tie taken away from him. He's the worst ref I've ever seen. Public warning for that, it was a strike to the thigh.
Well, you say thigh, I say... Anyway, and here we go, back into a hammerlock, and Stu Odysessy launches Bobby Hostile into the second turnbuckle. Well, at the moment, you can just see that the big man using those power moves really just to wipe out Bobby Hostile. A combination of legal strikes and blatant choking. And he launches Hostile out the corner. Oh, but Bobby Hostile, quick strike there off the second rope. And a tornado DDT.
He needs to tag out.
That has to hurt.
It does.
Have you ever taken something like that?
I have, and it's painful.
Well, anyway, both men are down. You've got to believe that whoever can make the tag will have the advantage in this match.
They both need this tag, but Bobby really needs this tag. He's spent the last 10 minutes on the mat.
And if he can tag in Ricardo Young, the man who is the most rested competitor in this tag team match. Oh, there's the tag to Garnell, and there's the tag to Young. Ricardo Young, big back elbow, and another there. Oh, he's going straight for Garnell. Off the ropes, huge spinning wheel kick.
This is exactly what Stu and Danny didn't want to happen.
Well, absolutely. I mean, at the moment, Ricardo Young is absolutely on fire, and you can see that the fans are well behind the Neon Warriors. Let's see if Ricardo Young can launch the big man. No, there's the reversal there from Odysessy. Odysessy follows through, but takes the foot to the face. Bulldog.
I saw an eye rake. Did you see that eye rake?
Eye rake, I saw
The ref
absolutely
missed
no
that
eye
one.
rake, but obviously the ref didn't see it. Tight pitfall cover. And Garnell with a strike which suspiciously looked against the throat, but it looks like the referee will let it slide. Oh, Northern Lights, beautiful execution. When was the last time you did anything that athletic?
I resent that comment.
I apologise, I'm merely jesting. Anyway, Garnell now, he whips off Bobby Hostile. Hostile, however, big body slam and a sit out. And here's the cover. Saved by the last second there by Stu Odysessy, and Garnell and Odysessy are still in this thing. But everyone's looking a bit rocky at the moment, but Odysessy has the sense to go for a back chop. Oh, hang on a minute.
But can he get him?
Whoa. Too big. too strong, but Bobby hostile with a cutter.
And that's actually Bobby's finishing manoeuvre, am I right?
Well, actually, I've not seen him use it. I'm seeing more of these lads in
There's
tag team
Ricardo's finisher.
competition. Big splash! Ricardo Young with the cover. And that takes it home for the Neon Warriors Project Future.
Here are your winners, Project Future.
Now, Jetta, in your opinion, Stu Odyssey, Danny Garnell, unfortunately they lost tonight, but what could they have done to improve their chances in the future?
I think personally, with it being the first time they've ever tagged and remembering the Project Future, a Wyld season tag team, they've done very well here tonight. And if anything, they've learned a few lessons that they're going to take to them with the match with the World Sport Legends.
Well, great, Jack, thanks very much for your contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We have an exciting edition of the London Eye coming up. But more importantly, Yorghos is going head-to-head against Chris Wyld.
Hello and welcome to the London Eye with me, Fiona Fox. Last week we reported on the recent theft of the LDN Championship belt when former British champion Tex Benedict stole the belt while John Ritchie defended his title. Since the theft, LDN has not been able to contact Tex Benedict, and John Ritchie is naturally furious, not only calling for the return of his property but also for Tex Benedict to be fired. LDN are looking at the options available before making a decision. Management have announced that a new British Championship belt has been commissioned, this being decided before the recent theft and not because of it. And the belt will be awarded to the current champion John Ritchie here on LDN Capital TV in the coming weeks. I've been Fiona Fox and we'll see you next week.
Last month, I had a meeting with Sean Herbert and I'm pleased to announce that LDN Wrestling has signed a TV deal with the wrestling channel.
This is London. This is London.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring right now is Chris Wyld, a man who unfortunately made a reputation for himself from being so close every time. A man who almost won the British Championship on a number of occasions, but failed under John Atkins.
And ladies and gentlemen, Chris Wyld is brought to the ring by the LDN life coach John, David, Bernard, Bruno, Chapman.
Just like the thing that happened to me last time, you remember? John Chapman started being my life coach and things turned around.
All I remember is, John Chapman obviously used to come to the ring, and from what I understand, he gave you a lot of guidance in the way you should live your life and compete in your matches. Is that correct?
Yeah, he told me to believe in myself.
So, does that include creating a conspiracy that effectively caused Jezebel to be injured, being forced to leave LDN? Also, you've managed to chase out Violet from the ladies' division here in LDN. And if I remember correctly, you wanted a match with Erin Angel, and his life coaching came in the form of smashing a glass of water in her head.
All I hear, Andrew, is blah, blah,
And
blah.
his opponent hails from Athens in Greece. He comes to the ring weighing in at 13.5 stone, Yorghos Christopoulos.
I'm not going to be nice, it's pro wrestling.
Well, fair enough. If it gets the job done for you, well, I'm going to say John Chapman was able to smash a glass in some of your opponent's head, but I'd like to see him try the same trick against this man right here, Yorghos. Check out his dancing.
See, this is the same mistake that Yorghos is going to make, that Project Future made. Why bother pandering to these idiots sitting in the crowd?
But Jetta,
It's about winning matches.
But this is why they have friends and you don't.
I have plenty of friends, just not wrestling fan friends. Thank you very much.
How many friends have you got? Name them.
I have a friend called Mary. I have a friend called Sarah. I have plenty of friends.
Okay.
The main thing is they're not wrestling fans.
Alright, I'm getting some word in my ear that apparently I should lay off your personal life.
Yeah.
Therefore, I will concentrate on the ring. Here we go, ladies and
How
gentlemen.
many friends do you have?
I have several friends. Yorghos is my friend. Everyone in the audience is my friend.
Yeah, you're their friends, but are they your friends?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, ignore her. Coming to the ring right now is Yorghos. He's a man who has been very successful so far. As promising as he can be, does he have enough promise to get through Chris Wyld? I'm sure you've got something to say about that.
Chris Wyld's going to win this one. It's that simple. Book closed.
Obviously, this is a very big match for both men. Both men really want to succeed. Both men really want to move forward, particularly Chris Wyld. He wants to become the British champion. Yorghos, I'm sure, will have very similar aspirations in the future. So, Jetta, before going into a match of this calibre, what kind of mental preparation must you do before you get into such a high-stakes contest?
It's a good idea to watch the sort of style that your opponent wrestles. I mean, I'm sure Chris Wyld will have watched some of Yorghos' past matches, see what sort of moves they like to use, what kind of style they utilise, and then try and work out a strategy that works against that style.
Well, the referee now just making sure that neither wrestler are carrying anything dodgy. He seems pretty happy. Chris Wyld, as usual, looking very intense. Okay, Jenna, put yourself in Chris Wyld's boots. What have you got to do to take down Yorghos?
Yorghos is not a small guy. He's well built and he's well trained. I mean, he's a good mat wrestler, but so is Chris Wyld. So it's just a matter of just keeping your cool.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Both men now trying to grapple up. It looks like we're going for a Roman knuckle-lock situation. Both men, however, almost flowing into the collar elbow tie-up. Neither man committing to any kind of lock-up.
You see, this is another reason why this ref is rubbish. You see, he was pulling Chris Wyld's hair and he didn't even notice it.
Surely, though, Chris Wyld's hair is too short to actually pull, unless you have a pair of tweezers.
Are you saying that Chris Wyld is lying?
I would not want to say anything about Chris Wyld that'll be caught on tape. This is a man who was a former illegal underground fighter. I'm pretty sure he could turn me into linguine and eat me for dinner.
So remember that, Andrew.
Right,
it's a very important fact to remember. And remember that I could do that as well.
What, you could turn me into linguine?
That's right.
Well, it's good to know your cooking skills are on par. Anyway, back to the match, and here we see Chris Wyld struggling to escape the head scissors and successfully does so, applying the headlock. Keeping the control here, very important. And as you can see there, he's got that butcher's hook on his hands. Yorghos will not be able to escape this very easily.
See, that's what it's all about. It's getting the technique right. Make it harder for Yorghos to escape. But like I said before, he's a good mat wrestler.
As you can see, I mean, I've got to give credit where credit is due. Chris Wyld is so well built. You've got to believe with a physique like that, he's able to plough down his opponent quite easily. Jumps over the sleeper, off the ropes again. Missed that leapfrog and drop toe hold. And Yorghos, in a flash of lightning, just applies that leg hold.
That's something that Chris Wyld's certainly got to be careful of, the speed and the quickness.
Well, there we see now a really tight headlock. I mean, between Yorghos and Chris Wyld, who do you think's got the best headlock?
The best headlock. I mean, again, it always comes down to technique, but Yorghos is the bigger guy, so he can put more pressure on, so...
Good. Well, there we see now Chris Wyld trying to drain the strength of Yorghos. Very simplistic hold, but certainly very, very effective. Head scissors, using the leg, and Yorghos there bridges out and straight back to that leg hold. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, Yorghos was a man who, earlier on in his LDN career, had to clash head-to-head with Jason Sensation, the monster that was brought in by Sanjay Bagga. And it was Yorghos who finally stopped his trail of destruction, courtesy of his Colosseum cradle suplex. He grabs both arms, flips them over his head, bridges into a pinfall, absolutely no escape. Will Chris Wyld fall victim to that maneuver?
He's got to be so careful, because once Yorghos hooks that in, it's over. Like you said, there is no escape.
Meanwhile, Chris Wyld, of course, and I'm sure you'll be very proud of Chris for this. He is one of the most devastating guillotine leg drops I think I've ever seen in a British ring. We've got to go away, but this match will continue after the break.
This is London. This is London. This is London.
Yorghos now trying to find the escape. Well, there's the handstand right there. And Chris Wyld telegraphed that one. Yorghos was going to try and nip out of it. It's a very British-esque escape. But Chris Wyld, knowing this, just effectively jerked his head right down into the mat.
You can tell that Chris Wyld's done his homework. He saw that one coming a mile off and he had the perfect counter.
See, this is it. I actually can't disagree with you as much as I'd like to. I honestly think that Chris Wyld is a future British champion. He has all the tools. He just seemed to come up short every time. And hopefully for him, for his sake, being with John Chapman will help.
It's all about the positive vibes, Andrew. Now he's got those positive vibes, the sky is the limit.
Well, I don't know if I'd describe Chris Wyld as positive. Absolutely sadistically ruthless, maybe, but positive, I'm not too sure. And at the moment, Yorghos most definitely isn't looking positive. Chris Wyld now takes Yorghos into the corner, launches him out hard. Oh, but Yorghos, crossbody! Oh, it was only a one. Chris Wyld able to get up very quick, and there was a hip toss right there, and another. Oh, and a standing drop kick lands back on his feet, and again, and Chris Wyld falls to the outside.
Again, as much as it isn't, it's frustrating for the crowd and it's frustrating for Yorghos. Chris Wyld going to the back and regaining himself. It's giving himself a little bit of a chance there. I mean, obviously Yorghos is getting frustrated. Oh!
Well, straight off the apron, wipes out Chris Wyld with what looked like a lariat. And obviously the fans really appreciate the close-up action.
See, that's illegal, Andrew. Yorghos should be getting a public warning for that.
Well, at the end of the day, it is the referee's discretion, and John Chapman decided to interject himself, and Yorghos pushes him down in his arse.
Again, Yorghos just using bully boy tactics.
Oh, you're just upset because he pushed over your boyfriend.
He's my life coach. Life coach.
Well, I don't know. There are rumours swirling around backstage that there's something between you that's a touch more professional, should we say.
I think that you just completely summed it up there yourself, Andrew, with the word rumour.
Oh, fair enough if you want to deny it, but all I can say is mud sticks. And anyway, Chris Wyld now drop toe holding Yorghos on that second row.
Here comes that leg drop.
Well, I was going to say, if he hits a leg drop on the outside like this, double stomp, and I mean, that was horrendous. I mean, that was technically illegal, but it's certainly going to be effective.
He has a count of 5.
Well, I wasn't necessarily disagreeing that. I'm just saying it may have been illegal, but I'll tell you one thing, it was certainly effective. And maybe you're right, Jenna. Maybe Chris Wyld is more focused than he has ever been in his life. And you've got to believe, if he can beat the LDN golden boy from Greece, Yorghos, I reckon he's going to be on the shortlist for a future British title shot. Nice leg drop.
Leg drops there.
Absolutely, I mean, very precise, very good leg drops. Brings up Yorghos. Yorghos firing away now. Oh, a quick knee to the midsection, and Yorghos drops like a brick. Now, we've seen this before. Nice fisherman suplex with the pinning predicament. And there's the kick out there by Yorghos.
I'm surprised he kicked out of that, the bridge on that he had his shoulders pinned straight to the mat.
Well, the fisherman suplex is one of those moves. It really can be high impact. But to try and get that bridge, you've got to like almost not drop them on the back of the head, if that makes sense. That's why some people go for a fisherman buster instead. Anyway, Chris Wyld, however, despite not getting the pinfall, a couple of quick strikes, which is what it's one of his strengths, are those strikes in a British ring, and it's now back in control. Well, there we go, bridging now.
There's that bridge again.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the bridging technique right there. And you can just see the muscles all the way down Chris's back, just tensing up to hold it. And he's really wrenching that hold there. Now, Jetta, I mean, I'm sure you've been in holds similar to this. I mean, what would that have been working exactly?
It's your legs and it's your back, and it's absolutely excruciating.
Well, it seems like Yorghos was able to hold on to it for long enough to stay in this contest. Ooh, double palm strike there by Chris Wyld. Launches Yorghos out of the corner. Oh, picks him up in a DVD position. Samoan drop. Absolutely high impact. And now Chris Wyld. Oh, he's going for that guillotine leg drop, perhaps. And he's going to fly from the heavens. He misses.
This is the opening that Yorghos needed. Chris Wyld took a little bit too long getting up there.
Well, it looks like now that Yorghos just about get to his feet. And let's see what he's going for. Big back body drop. No! Atomic drop there from behind. Nicely executed. Yorghos launches Chris Wyld. And another back body drop. The height and elevation right there. And, oh! Head scissors takedown, the likes I have never seen. Oh, John Chapman, the life coach attempted to screw Yorghos. He tripped him.
He tripped on the apron.
He tripped him.
He tripped on the apron.
Well, the referee's giving John Chapman there a warning. And it looks like Chris Wyld is going for this reality check, inverted slam. If he can hit it, and he does. Well, it looks like the interference from John Chapman might have worked. Oh, and Yorghos finds the rope. Now, you've got to believe that Chris Wyld had that if he wasn't so close to the ropes. Well, John Chapman there is absolutely livid, but in many ways, you've got to believe that this is fair. I mean, John Chapman almost screwed Yorghos out of a victory there. And Chris Wyld now takes a rope. There's the reverse. Oh, that was an accidental collision.
Oh, no.
Colosseum cradle. And Jetta, your man just got beat 1, 2, 3.
He didn't get beat clean, though. He whipped him into Chapman.
Here is your winner, Yorghos Christopoulos.
Well, what was Chapman doing up on the apron?
To see if Yorghos was okay after he tripped. That's just bad manners, Andrew.
Codswallop.
It's not a clean win. It's not a clean win.
Codswallop. He attempted to smack Yorghos in the head with a briefcase, but unfortunately it backfired and Yorghos is victorious here tonight.
But it's not a clean victory. It's not a 1, 2, 3 victory. Properly, he threw him into Chapman. You saw it.
Well, Jenna, we've got to wrap up now. Is there anything you want to say for the crowd at home? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Andrew Coyne. Thank you and good night.